All right, welcome back to another video where we go after the JNCIE-SP. So a little bit of bad news. The last video, unfortunately, it was like a 2.5-hour video closing out the BGP topic. I'm nearly out of disk space on this computer. It doesn't have very much disk space on it. And the video being 2.5 hours, I didn't have enough disk space to save it. I tried to go back and free up some disk space, but the Zoom conference had already been closed, so I didn't know how to go back and get it. So unfortunately, that's just going to be lost to Father Time. It's going to affect my calculations too. It'll seem like I'm going faster than I am because I'm missing like a solid 2.5 hours. But I want to see properties of my disk space here. I've only got 256 gigs of storage space, which really isn't that much. So, there's also some good news. Good news is I finished up that topic, so I'm well on my way to taking the tests and kind of moving through the stuff at a decent rate, I think. We did do the math, and I was going a bit slow, but having completed 2 topics right now and having 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, having 4 months, that's kind of encouraging. The next topic I'm going to go after is device infrastructure, and that's because I just want kind of an easier topic. I think this is going to be quicker and easier. So let's get started with automation implementation, and archival is going to be this topic. So we're going to learn how to archive configuration. So these should go really quick and easy. A lot of this, I think, will not have a full example, just kind of playing around on the CLI to see how to use these commands. So let's learn about the archival command. So description, configure copying of the currently active configuration to an archive site. An archive site can be a file or an FTP, HTTP, passive FTP, or SCP location. Then we've got some options. Configuration, configure the router or switch to periodically transfer its active configuration. Archival sites, specify where to do that. So it's pretty self-explanatory, I think. I'll open up one of these and just kind of poke around in there. So it's going to be under the edit system hierarchy level. Configure edit system archival. So we'll take a look at there. Our system archival management. Now, what options do we have here? We have edit configuration, automatic configuration of hosts to hosts, and list of archive sites. Let's see what options we got here. So we got URLs. So, and this is where we're going to be receiving those configuration files. So as you can see here, we can receive it from FTP, HTTP, SCP, lots of options. We also have some configuration options. Or under configuration, we also have some, and you can see this chevron means that this is a kind of like a directory in Linux, and these are kind of like folders, where this is the end of the chain. So if I go to interval, and then 10, oops, in minutes, so 1 minute. Well, that's interesting. 60 minutes. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's a full command. But you'll see if I do a edit configuration, and then I do an edit, those disappear because edit will take you into what's kind of equivalent to a directory, but set is kind of the equivalent of a file. So these transfer interval, transfer and commit, those can be thought of like files, but archive sites, if I put that and I hit enter, I'm missing an argument because this is kind of like a folder. So within that, we're going to have files. We've got to set the URL. Yep, and then we can just set that, or we can the password for the archival site. So that's kind of useful because you can back up all of your configurations, and if there's an issue, you don't need to worry about. Well, I mean, if there's a network issue, obviously you won't be able to access these. But yeah, so I guess I'd like to learn more about when this is something that's desirable. So let's read the related documentation. And we can mark this as being complete. And the related documentation might actually be here. So here's an example. So that's defining destinations for file archiving by event policies. And this is backing up configurations to an archive site. So quite a bit different there. Configuring an event policy to upload files. Let's read this one first. Backing up configurations to an archive site. You can configure a device to transfer its configuration to an archive file periodically. Configuring the transfer of the currently active configuration. If you want to back up your device's current configuration to an archive site, you can configure the device to transfer its currently active configuration by FTP, HTTP, or secure copy, SCP, periodically or after each commit. So I can think of a really good thing for this. If you just have a server that stores all of the configs backup for your device, now you can save yourself having to actually go into the devices and go into the CLI of each devices and look around. I mean, we can see, you know, it's if you just want to pull back a complete show configuration display sets, you know, that could be a while. You have to log into the device, you have to do all this, but if you're archiving all your devices back to a central site, now you can just do a grep-r or grep through all your files, and you can find your configurations really easy that way. You can see, oh, which IP address was configured on which file, which device. So you've seen it as I've done in other videos. You know, I'm going device to device, so it's on this one, this one, this one, and you know, you can use the route table, but if they were all at a centralized location on a config backup server, then I can just go on that server and do a grep for the IP, grep-r-l. So I just get the file name, and then I see that they're in the file name. So let's actually do this because this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to keep up the lab that I did in the last video that unfortunately I lost, where I finished up the BGP section. So now I'm going to deploy a Ubuntu server here, and I'm going to hook it up to router 0. All right, so now the Ubuntu server is going to need its own IP, and router 0 is going to need an IP on its interface that connects to the Ubuntu server, which is going to be GE02. So I'll add a description to it. Oh, well, I don't have descriptions in this class, so I don't think it's necessary. Oops. That's interesting. I thought these all had configuration on them. I mean, if they don't, that's going to be a bit of a problem. I think it might have been that the problem with oh, well, that one doesn't have it. That one doesn't have it. So a number of them don't have configuration. It looks like RR1 still does. Yes, but none of the other ones do. So, oops, show system commits. Yeah, and they don't even have a backup of anything. So that's kind of too bad. But we can make it a bit easier. Let's just set up ISIS on everything and just build a network where the device here, the Ubuntu server, can connect to every other device. So we're going to tear down the configuration on router A as well. So show system commit, configure private, rollback to commit anyway. And then we'll build a brand new network. We'll use ISIS to get practice with that. And then we'll make sure that all of the routes in the network are reachable. More importantly, we'll have loopbacks, and that will be how we're going to communicate with those devices. So, and we'll just make everything up. For the loopbacks, we'll use the 192 to 168 range. So set it into LO0. Unit 0, set address 2 dot and let's make the host names a little bit more kind of ideal. So we're going to have router 1, router 2, 3, and then we'll change. Have this one be 4, and then this one be router 5. So let's change this one to router 5. Okay, and now this one can be router 4. Oops. All right, perfect. So now this can be router 3. Excellent. And then router 2 we can leave there. But this one's going to be router 1. Be a little bit easier to work with. All right. So of course we're going to need to change the host names on the actual devices as well. Top set system host name R1 for this one. And then for, okay, so now we can set the address on the loopback 0 interface. And we can delete the current one. Okay, so now the new one, family INET address 192.168.0.1 because this is router 1. And while we're here, we can set the family ISO address. So we'll do 49.0.0.192.168.0.192.0168. .0000.0001.00, and then we're going to need to configure our interfaces. So for the scheme there, let's do 10.0.0.0 / 16 space, or actually let's do slash. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 networks. So we're going to need so we can either choose between having 4 networks or 8 networks. So of course we're going to have 8 networks. So in order to get 8 networks, we're going to need 3 bits. So if we use 10.0.0/29, oh, sorry, it's not 29 because we got to do the third octet. It's going to be 16, so 21/21. So 10.0.0/21. If we use that as our supernet, we can take 3 more bits out of that to a /24, and we can use networks 0 through 7. So we'll do that, and we'll do network 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So fortunately, we can't use a /22 because then we'd only have 4 networks, but we're going to need 5 networks here. And then hosts, we won't need to worry about that at all because we're only going to have 2 hosts per network. All right, so let's get this started here. So we'll do a run show insters dash, and this is router 1. So we know that 0 is going to R3. So let's give ourselves some descriptions just to make it easier on ourselves. Perfect. So now we're going to need to follow our addressing scheme. So on here, we'll do a set family inets, or we'll edit unit 0. We'll set family inet address 10.0.0. We'll do .1 on this. So that means the Ubuntu server is going to be 8.2, and I'm going to go with /30s. Actually, I could go with /24. Well, I'm just going to go with /30s. So, and then of course I'm going to need to enable family ISO for ISIS. Perfect. So now set the family inet address 10.0.1/30. Set family ISO. Perfect. So yeah, everything. Oh, we are missing one of the more important elements. Now that these interfaces have been deemed to be capable of running ISO, we've got to actually run ISO on them. So edit protocols, ISIS. Set interface G, set interface G 000, 001, 0. Perfect. Yep, so everything looks pretty good. Yeah, so let's commit that and then go over to the Ubuntu server and do that next. It's going to be, let's see here, so DNS3 is the password. Seems to be taking a bit longer than usual, maybe because there's multiple windows. Oh, there we go. So now we're going to need to change the wired settings. I think the GUI is the easiest way to do it. All right, so manual 10.0.0.2 255.255.252, and we won't need a gateway because we're not going to send any. Oh, actually, we do need a gateway. We will be sending traffic off of its own network. Perfect. All right, so that looks good. Let's just do a quick ping test before moving on. There we go, so ping. And then we'll be able to ping 10.0.0.1. Yep, that one. We've got that two on ours. I think we might be able to ping 0.1 at this point. Yeah, because we got a default gateway on there. So yep, we're good to go. Let's skip this update if we can, because we don't have internet connectivity right now. Hopefully it doesn't just keep badgering us to do that. Okay, so now moving on to router 2. So this will be network. So this is network 0, 1. This will be network 2. Perfect. Okay, and now this can be .1. So set family ISO. And now I'll edit into 0. It's 0. Set family INET address. 192.168.0.2/32. Set family ISO address 49.area. And then this portion, which is usually something that identifies the loopback address. And then 2 zeros at the end. So perfect. Now the most important part, the protocols, ISIS, set interface. All right, and it automatically puts in .0 when you do that. So this is all we need. Yeah, really nice and easy. We're not going to have any routes populate yet, but once we do router 3, we can check and make sure that this route is learned. So let's move on to router 3. Oops, and it looks like I rolled back too much on that, so I'm going to roll back one. And commits. And then or actually do a show pipe display set. There we go. And now I'm going to try again with that rollback command. And show system commits So instead of rolling back to 4, I will roll back to 3. Compare. Perfect. Commits. And now hopefully the config we have, is just the stripped down version that we need and not including the extra configuration that it gets on server just from the VMX image defaults, which I'm not sure how to change. I would like to change them, so let me know in the comments if you know. Help me out. All right, so let's do a run show int first match g dash. So we've got 0, 0, and 0, 1 hooked up. It looks like I'm not sure which one this is. This is A. The forwarding plane is named A. So A, so 1 goes to R2. And 0. Oops. All right, so now we've just got the IP addressing left. So let's do it on the, and I might have forgotten. Nope, I didn't. I thought I forgot that family I saw on router 2, but I did not, thankfully. So edit int 0, 0, 0, set family int address. This is the link to router 1. So this is going to be .1, 10.0.1.2 on this side. Set family ISO. Set family address 10.0.2.2/30. Set family ISO. Fit 0 unit 0. Set family ISO address. Let's set the INET address before we set the ISO address. All right, so now it's not the ISO address. If I can type it, ANNLY. ISO. Oops. So there's a problem here. So I did a subnet mask as if it were a INET address, but it's an ISO address. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 parts that it needs. All right, so I thought I had to sneeze there, but I think I'll be good for a while. Set interfaces 0, 0, interface 1, 0. So let's check that this is ready to commit. Yep, family ISO and everything added to the protocol. IP address is configured perfect. So before moving on to router 4, let's make sure we've got that network from the Ubuntu server. We don't have it yet, but it might populate. Okay, so that's kind of interesting that we don't have it. There we go. It just took a while to populate. Those are the 2 routes that we're not going to get yet. I'm kind of surprised that we're not getting .2 as well. I would think that that would be showing up. So let's take a look. So it's configured there. We've got it here. So .2 is configured, right? Ah, here it is. It just took a while to come up. All right, so now it's time for part 4. I'll just leave this running. We can see the .4 populated. Of course, we're not going to see .3 because I'm filtering out for ISIS routes, and .3, it's a direct route. All right, so I got to switch tabs, but my Zoom controls are in the way. Problem solved. Set system host name R4. Now I need to determine the ports. So one of the ports is down. And this was A, I remember that. So we're going to be looking at C on this one. So it should be port 0 and port 1. Port 0 appears to be down though, I'm not sure why. Let's configure port 1. All right, and then let's just configure port 0 now because we know that's the one we're going to use. So we can go ahead and label that and then figure out why it's not up later. So port 1 is the one that was going to port 3. So let's put an IP address on there. Do edit unit 0, set family address 10.0 dots, and we've got 0, 1, 2, 3. Remember this is going to be .1 because we did .2 here. Should be .2 on all of them. That will allow me to put in the right one. Yep, it looks like we're missing a interface though. We forgot to, I'll take full responsibility for it. All right, so we're going to need an address in the 3 space. Perfect. We'll give it a .2 to stay with our convention. Of course, it's going to need a family ISO enabled, and then it'll need to be added to ISIS. Perfect. So moving on to, oops, not perfect. What the heck happened? Oh, I gave it the wrong, I gave it a .3 instead of a .2. Oh, my face is good. All right, so now we finally got that figured out. Just do another show run just to make sure. You could tell I'm from Cisco land if I call it a show run, but I'll take a look at the running config, and then we'll jump over to part 4 and continue to build up that candidate config. All right, so now we got to work on network 4. And we'll do .2 on this one. Well, let's have that one so that they're not mixed. They both have that one. Okay, edit int hello 0 .0 set family and address 192.168.0.4/32 set family ISO address 49.000.0.168.234.1234. Perfect. Okay, so now let's do those ports. We've got to add ISO to them. And same thing with port 1. All right, so now we need to get into the protocols to protocol ISIS. Okay, so I think there might be another piece missing. Nope, I changed the host name. I added the descriptions, family ISO. Yeah, so I did everything good. Let's see that loopback populate in our router 2 capture, or our router 3 pipe refresh. Yeah, here. So let's see that .3 come back. So I'm going to grab something at my door, but when I come back, I think that'll be there. It looks like it's not there. So I think that's worthy of some troubleshooting. So we've got .4/32. We've got it added to the ISIS interface. So this is the one going to router 3. So let's see if we can ping across the network on that. Oh, and we can't. So let's figure out why the ping is failing. And we can see exactly why here. It's up, down. So I think I'll just rewire up that link. It's going to be to show instructions. It's going to be port 2 to port 1, and here it's just double that, so it's going to be 4 to 3. Well, not double it, it's just two less. So we're 2 more. So here if it's port 1, here's going to be port 3, EM3. So, yep, that changed that to up. That's all that was needed. Let's check this as well. Okay, and they're all up. So hopefully that will now, yep, and we found it. So let's just kind of take a preemptive step before configuring this and wire this up. So this is going to be port 0, and then we'll hook that up to port 0. Yep. Zero. 4. 0. Address. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 4. And then this is going to be .2. So that's the need. 0, set family IMAX. Perfect. Address 49.0.0.168.0.005.000. Perfect. Make sure we've got everything. Oh, and we're missing a step. Do you know what the step is? 3, 2, 1. Yep, that's correct. It's the ISIS protocol, making sure that the necessary links have been added to it. All right, so now everything's good to go. After I commit that, we'll see not only the loopback populating in the table, the .5, we'll also see another interconnect link here. It's going to be the ones that aren't directly connected links are going to be learned through ISIS. So we got .5. We're also going to need the interconnect link .4, and it looks like we actually got that one a bit faster. So yeah, route 3, the only ones that aren't directly connected routes are going to be route 0 and route 4. So it's got all of those interconnect link routes. And then it's got all of the loopbacks. It's of course not going to have .3 because that is a direct route. So that has a higher administrative distance. It has 5, or actually it has 1. A direct route has 1, and we can check. I mean, we've got it right here. Direct. Oh, and sorry, it's 0. Yeah. So direct has 0. I think static has 1. But ISIS has 15, so clearly we're going to be favoring that direct route over the ISIS route for our routing table. All right, so now we can play with the config that's a part of this topic of the exam. We can build an archive to send all of the files over to a centralized server and kind of save ourselves some trouble when it comes to looking through the configuration on these devices. Instead of just doing it device by device and hopping between devices, I can just grep through a directory, a Linux directory on a Linux jump host. So we're going to need to give it a so it's either going to be FTP, HTTP. I know there's a way you can use Python 3 to set up a HTTP server. So we can always do that. Let's do that because I think that's the easiest way. So Python 3-m HTTP server. Oops. HTTP, okay. Oops. Zen? I thought it could be executed directly. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh, I could probably do like socket server. Oh. Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly how to do this, but that's the purpose of this section is to learn how. So configuring the transfer of the currently active configuration. If you want to back up your device's current configuration to an archive site, you can copy the device to transfer its currently active configuration by FTP, HTTP, or secure copy SCP periodically or after each commit. To configure the device to transfer its currently active configuration to an archive site, include statements here. So let's include those statements on one of the routers. Stay on router 3 and do it. System archival configuration. Set archive sites. We'll do FTP. And it'll be JNCIE-SP, JNCIE-SP username and password at 92.0.0.2, I believe it was. Yeah. And now transfer interval will, set transfer interval. We'll do it every 15 minutes. And then we'll also do transfer on commit. So commit quits. I think this commit probably won't be transferred, but let's do a test commit. Maybe, nope, it won't do it if there's any changes. Let's change the host name. Okay, so we've made 2 changes, so hopefully they're showing up in our lab here. I don't see that they are, though, unfortunately. So let's take a look at that configuration some more. And let's see if we can ping the address that we put in. Perfect, we can. So I think it's because I don't have a FTP server running on here. What if I do, let's see here, FTP file, and then copy, and then the source is going to be, so let's do a file list. And how about show log? There we go. And then let's do a file, copy, and then we'll send the syslog. So the source is going to be, it's just going to be messages. And then the destination URL, this will be that FTP colon, just like we had here, yep, //GNS3, S3, and then I believe it's a @ symbol is next. Yep, at 10.0.0.2. So, here we go. So, could not fetch local copy of file. So, is it? I'm not sure if the. Yeah, I think what if I do a file or show log? And then, here we go. So, well, what about file show or file list? There we go. So let's do the same thing, but let's do a file that we have here. Oops, put file failed, could not send local copy of file. So why is it not transferring? Okay, so we can see everything that's required. We didn't give it a URL path or a port. So the port for FTP, there's two ports that it uses, one for control information and one for data transfer. Let's fix this up a bit. And we'll do we'll give it the port. So we'll give it port 20, and then we'll give it a URL path. So it's just going to be root home GNS3. So WD. Oh, sorry. Home GNS3. No root there. That's what I thought. Perfect. Here we go. Nice. And quits. Hopefully this makes more sense. So let's do it. For 10 commits. All right, and now, still didn't get anything showing up here. Well, let's do a monitor start messages. Private, display set. All right, and then delete this, of course. Oops. Commit that, and hopefully we'll get a message. Nope. Okay, so then let's set this, but let's give it an actual file name. So r3.eik, we'll call it that. Commit. Set. Okay, get rid of this. And I can't help but notice it's not transferring on commits. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't have the periodic oops, 15 is the absolute smallest interval. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure why it's not able to connect up to the device here. So to configure it to periodically transfer, we did that. Transfer on commit, did that. Note, when specifying a URL in the Junos OS statement using IPv6, you must enclose the entire URL in quotation marks. But we're not using IPv6. When you configure the device to transfer its configuration files, you specify an archive site to which the files are transferred to. Specify either one. Okay. Attempts to transfer to the first site, moving only if it fails. It's good to know. To configure the archive sites. So yeah, we did all that. When you specify the archive site, do not add the / to the end of the URL. Oh, maybe I did that. Nope, didn't do that. The destination file name is saved in the following format, where and corresponds to the number of the compressed configuration rollback file that has been archived. Okay, that's good to know. So I don't even need this file name because they're going to give one for me. So I'll clean this up then. We'll leave it here. I don't need that last one. So I'm guessing there's an issue with it being able to do FTP. One thing I can do is look at a netstat, -AO, match 20. Type grep 20 or 21, or it might be a dot. Yeah, it's a dot. Oh no, because it's a regular expression. Because what I'm looking for is to see if it's listening on port 20 and 21, because that will tell me if I'm looking for TCP connections. So I think I would need to say, FTP connections. FTP, and then open to, okay, yeah. Yes, yeah, I thought, I would have been surprised if this did work, to be honest. So I don't see any system connections. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, I'm not even sure how to test. So let's just keep reading. This we can mark off as having read. So this is the extra reading that I did, but I'll keep track of the fact that I did it. But these are the readings that I had set aside for me to actually do. So this is example defining destinations for a file by archiving event policies. This example configures an archive site for event policies, event policy actions that reference the configured destination, upload specified files to that site. When an event policy action generates output files, you can archive the files for later analysis. Similarly, you might want to archive system files, including system log files, core files, and configuration files from the time an event occurs. When an event occurs, you can upload relevant files to a specified location for analysis, to archive files from an event policy, configure one or more destinations specifying the archive sites to which the files are uploaded. You then reference the configured destinations within event policies. To define a destination archive site, include the destinations statement at the edit event options hierarchy level. So maybe, let's see here, display set more. Oh, I see. Or, wait, I'm confused. What about this archive sites command? What is this? It's archival configurations, archive sites. So that's an archive destination. URLs to receive configuration files. So yeah, that's what I want. Okay. What if I take the port away? My display set relative. So we're gonna do a delete on this. And then we'll do a set. Perfect. So I think that commit would then be backed up. It will work properly. Yeah, they're not getting backed up, unfortunately. It'd be nice if I could figure this out. Let's try to telnet to the server on port 20. Okay, so we do have telnet working on the server. So I'm not sure why it's not able to FTP to the server. This command really isn't working. So the destination name is a user-defined identifier, which is referred by event policies. You can find multiple destinations with different archive sites. For each destination, configure one or more archival URIs for a given destination. The device attempts to transfer the files to the first archive site in the list and only uses subsequent sites in the list if the transfer to the first site fails. Optionally, you can specify a plain text password for login into an archive site. Specify the archive site URI. Do they mean URL? As a file URL, I'm guessing. And active or passive FTP. Yeah, so I think I did everything right. Port, I think, was temporary. Yeah, so this is pretty much everything I just went over. So archive sites. So yeah, let's do, let's add these event options commands and hopefully it will work. So this sample output, the management archives destination has 2 archive sites and a transfer delay of 5 seconds. You can now reference this destination in event policies. When you reference the management archives destination and event policy, specified files are uploaded to the first archive site after a 5-second delay. If the transfer to the first archive fails, the device attempts to upload the files to the var log archive sites. One more example about referencing destinations. Note that although the plane, yep, okay. So, yeah, let's try it. So it's going to be your private, it's event, options, destinations. I think this is just for okay. I mean, let's just try it. I'm not sure it'll work. Edit archives. Sets transfer delay in seconds. Not sure why you would want a delay, but let's say there's 5, just like the basic there. Okay, so now we're going to have set FTP, GNS3 at 10.0.0.2 slash home slash GNS3. That's going to be password GNS3. Perfect. All right, so we have it showing up now. We don't. So, yeah, I'm not sure how to get this to work. I'm going to mark this off because I've finished this. And of course, I can't spend too much time or else I'll run out of time for studying. So I'll just read this. I'll probably move through it pretty quick. It's just a policy. I think maybe there's an issue with FTP, but let's read this. So configuring an event policy to upload files. So when an event policy action generates output files, you can archive the files for later analysis. Similarly, you might want to archive system files, including system log files, core files, and configuration files. From the time an event occurs, you can configure an event policy to upload existing system files or to upload the output files generated from an invoked event script or command at the time an event occurs. This section outlines the configuration required for uploading each of these file types using an event policy. When you configure an event policy to upload files, the relevant files, I'm going to finish that section and then there's something I did want to try. The relevant files are loaded to the location referenced in the destination statement configured for that event policy action. You must specify a destination name that is configured at the edit event options destinations hierarchy level. To upload system files to a configured archive sites, configure the upload statement at the edit event options policy name then hierarchy level. If the configured events occur, the event D process executes the upload action. Okay, so let's do something here that I think will help us figure out why it's not configuring. So let's create our own special file. So it's going to be file, and then so file create or make directory, delete directory. Let's see your list, link, copy, compress. Well, one of the things we can do is show, let's do show configuration. And then let's do an H here for help. So now we know that we can go all the way to the bottom, and then we should have an option here to save. Yeah, save output to a file if we hit S. So let's go all the way to the bottom. Oops. Yep, to the bottom to 99,100. We'll hit S, file name, test file. So now we're going to do a file show, sorry, file list. So now we've got test file here. So now we can do a file copy test file, and the destination URL is going to be FTP ://10.0. That's 0.2. Oops, sorry, we need our username and password here. GNS3. There we go. And then we need the location we're going to send it to. So it's going to be home GNS3. Oops, it's saying could not send local copy of file. So I don't know why. So let's just use trusty Google. And I don't see an answer here. So they say there's a special character that caused, oh, I see. Oh, I need a colon here. Oh. But I guess I can't have. Do I need a / here? What if I try? Oh, here we go. So now we're getting there. We've got connection refused. That's better. Let's try a different SCP maybe. There we go. So now we're getting closer, I think. Let's try TFTP. Okay, so we got a little bit closer. Oh, there we go. So let's try it with FTP again. So at least it kind of, yeah. So I think this is our best bet here. We've got it actually responding back with connection refused. So there's clearly a problem with the remote server here that it is refusing the connection. So let's look up Linux FTP connection refused. So we want to make it always, yeah, so we're going to make sure that it's installed. which it is. We saw that it was installed. But more importantly, we're going to make sure that it's running and ready to receive files. So D-E-G -L -I-P. So yep, we've got FTP installed. So now we need to see if it's going to be running. So let's see, telnet host 21. So perfect. Same message we got there, connection refused. So we've got, and you can see this is what I tried to do before. stat-ulpn. Yeah, don't see. Oh, looks like I might need to sudo. Yep, nothing, not running. So I gotta figure out how to start it. Service vs ftpd start. Okay, so it's going to need fail to start. So sudo on that. Let's just try ftpd maybe, or maybe just ftp. All right. Let's try this one. Nope. So we don't have any rules blocking it. Yep. So it looks like it would be fine. I think clearly the problem is that the service isn't started. So let's see. Let's run this command again and see if we can figure out what the name of that service is and how to start it. So I want to make this bigger. Oh, hashing DNS proxy, classical file transfer client. This is what I want. Maybe if I just have it open like this, it'll work. Let's try it. Could not work. Could not send local copy of file. File list. Yep, that's the right file. Test file. But I can't send the local copy of the file. I mean, I'm sure it would work if I do connect, or sorry, open on this one. So show 192.168.0.3. Connection refused there too. Yeah, so I think I just need to have it open somehow. So like ls clear ftp ls user type tick system status There we go, RECV maybe? Oh, we gotta connect. I'm just wondering why it's not passive. Passive mode on, maybe that'll do it. Nope. Mix. To Linux connection. Refuse. FTP. Yeah, there we go. Right, so how do I make it so, here we go, perfect. So here's a, so let's look for this file. Let's do a find, oops, it's gonna be on the Linux server. So quit, shrink this down. Let's see there, find dash new. Oh, and it's gonna be v. Let's just do FTP. See what we get. Oops, and I'll do a sudo. Okay, lots and lots of options. So here's user bin FTP. Oops, it's not a directory. Oops. Oh, this is the actual compile bin file for FTP. Yeah, so this is what we were at before. How does this work? So let's do Ubuntu set up to receive FTP from any web. So yeah. So let's see here. We need. I'm surprised we would have to install it because. So maybe it's that we need these allow messages here. Let's try it. Oops, and of course we don't have a shared clipboard. Probably won't need these rules to seem like they're almost custom for whatever they're doing. But inactive, that's interesting. I don't know why they want us to use this random. Oh, is it because I only have a client, but I don't have a server? Maybe that's what it is. Let's try this. Yeah, I don't have this service here, so I'm going to do it. I think that might be the problem is I have a FTP client, but I don't have an FTP server. Oh, okay. And of course, I can't download it if I don't have access to the outside world, but I can, that's just a cloud away. Yeah, I think that was the problem. Hopefully it'll work now. Today is Wednesday. Perfect. So now, okay. So hopefully this will work now. Try it. Looks more promising. This is not just straight out failing. Interesting behavior now. Quite a bit different behavior now that we've installed this VS FTPD. I wonder if it's because we didn't specify the port. Yeah, it's interesting that it's taking so long now, but it looks like we don't have that same issue. I'm going to Control C on it. Maybe just try it again. Here's what I'm looking for. Aha, look at this. Look at this. So it is working now. So I can do a grep :21. Aha, and now yeah, we can see. So it is working now. But all it's doing is it received a SYN. It looks like it's not actually sending that file over, or it's taking too long. It looks like it timed out. Well, that's too bad, but let's try a commit. And see if those rules that we set up went into place. Still nothing. So yeah, not sure what's going on with this. I'm sure it's just a problem with my Linux setup. I'm sure somebody's really good at Linux is screaming at me right now, but I'm more specialized in Juniper and Cisco routing gear than Linux itself. So I wish I knew what the problem was, but unfortunately I do not. I don't think the problem is on the Juniper. I think it's pretty straightforward what to do there. So I mean, I wish I could figure that out. I would like to go through this exercise, but I want to make it possible to use this server here. And we can see it is forming a connection just fine. And it's on port 21. So there's no issues there. The only issue is that it does a SYN receive, but it doesn't actually do anything back. So Ubuntu Linux FTP receive files. Yeah. Yeah, so you have to establish an FTP connection, but I'm kind of upset that you have to do that, because if you have a network with 10,000 devices, obviously you don't want to just set up a connection to all of those devices. You want them to be able to just connect. But I mean, we can try that. So 192.168.0.3, I think it was. So I think that'll work. And now let's try this again. Oops. Okay, hopefully this explains what this is for. Oh yeah, this is an FTP server. I think we already have a FTP client, but we're going to need a server in order for other devices to push up to this. Otherwise, yeah, so for a device to push up to another device, it only needs a client. But to have another device push up to it, it has to have a server on it. And Ubuntu Linux doesn't have one on it by default. It only has a client on it by default. So you've got to download the server, which is what I did. But now we need to make changes to the configuration file. So let's do a sudo copy. And really good on this tutorial. This is a great tutorial because they show you how to back up your file before making changes to it so that you can easily revert it afterwards. It's a fundamental good habit in working with any Linux system, is making sure that you're tying your boat to the dock or whatever. Oops. Oh, NS. Yeah, that's not going to work. There we go. So run standalone, can run either standalone daemon, IPv6, and anonymous, local enable, enable write, direct message, port 20, yeah, that sounds good. Local time. Shown. Yeah, all this looks fine. Don't need a banner. Yep, no SSL. Okay, so yeah, that looks good as far as I can see. I don't know what that is. Don't think it's necessary. Oh, do I have to add usernames? Oh, I do. Okay. I do need to add the usernames. Okay, so that's the problem. So sudo no tc vs ftpd.chrot truth.list. So GNS, assuming I did this right, let's see here, we got vsftpd.chroot_list, perfect. So I guess they say I just need to add the username there. Okay, so I think that's all that was missing. Now I need to do a sudo systemctl restart vsftpd. Perfect, and I think that is all that was missing. It just didn't have permissions for that user to receive the files because it wasn't added to that truth list. But unfortunately, nope, there's more to it than just that. Kind of tempted to move over to FileZilla because it might be easier to use. Kind of having a lot of trouble with this. Like it's working, but it's not working. I don't understand what's going on. Let's go back into that file. Yeah, the truth list, and then maybe add home GNS3 as well. Nope. Yeah, I'm completely stumped. I don't understand why this isn't working. I guess I could try SFTP. Nope. Maybe I could try TFTP. Nope. I mean, FTP is working. It's just that it's not actually sending me. Let's just time it down. So yeah, I don't know what the issue is. This video's been going long, so I think I'm going to need to yeah, I think I'm going to need to cut it for now, but thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.